is Walt Disney. I would like to welcome all of you to the Park Streamers Hangout tonight. Bob, Danny, and Cordy are dear friends, and I know they have an amazing podcast for you. So thanks for joining us tonight, and enjoy the show.
Well, hey kids, dreamers and jammers, welcome to another episode of Park Streamers Hangout with all three of us. We're excited to have you here, and we have an amazing show for you tonight. We've got a lot of stuff to cover, and we got some cool kind of news to talk about. So before we get started, though, let's go ahead and introduce our panel today. It's Cordy in California. Cordy, how you doing today?
I am here. No, I'm doing good.
Clearly, you're here.
I'm always tired on Mondays because Sunday nights are long. But hello, everyone. Going through my thing, right?
Yep. You really are tired.
Let's start over.
Yeah,
no, I'm kidding.
Could it be because you hit 7,000? And by the way, congratulations on 7,000. So
Yes, congrats.
Thank you. Yeah, it
where
was.
Can we find you? Where can we find you?
Oh, you can find me on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch. I have a Discord server and on Blue Sky.
Very good. And also, we got our wonderful, amazing theme park casual. How you doing tonight, sir?
I am doing fantastic. You can find me on YouTube, X, and Instagram, all of them at Theme Park Casual. And I'm a little tired, but I have a feeling tomorrow I'm going to be even more tired. But we'll deal with that later.
A little more tired. Well, we're only going for like 3.5 hours tonight, I think, right?
Yeah. So I
like,
should be able to get at least 20 minutes of sleep.
Yes.
That's good. And everyone, my name's I'm BarryPlays28, and you can find me on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, X, and Facebook, and that's where you can find me as well. All right. Before we get started, though, let's go ahead and welcome everyone into the chat today and see who's here.
We have got quite a list already going. We've got Haunted Mermaid, hey, Paul M. Newitt, Buddy, Hepburn, Mike, Spaceship Ears, Tom F, EXP626. We've got Pirate Girl Trish, Go and Shogi, Chris B, Chad Pritchard, Jennifer Bosselier, SoCal Sports, Most Wanted, Zomembes, Donald's fan, Christina H, Aurora Ramos, Geofire, Lynn, Liam, and possibly anybody else that may have slid in here at the last second without me noticing.
Weird Old Man is here.
Weird Old Man.
Zomembes.
We got Tom F. Zomembes.
We've got CL.
Most Wanted is here tonight. Hello. If we didn't say hi.
That's awesome. We have a great group of people here.
Fantastic group of people. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Be sure to hit that like button for us. We are inching our way to 500 subscribers. It looks like we are about 26 away starting the night off.
That is amazing. Yay.
And Barbara Duncan, welcome in.
All right. Well, we'll check in and see if anyone else joins us as we go throughout the night here. But first of all, again, welcome everyone and thank you for joining us. We have a lot of topics to cover tonight, and I think we are going to go to our first one. And by the way, I believe all of you know that we have this amazing blog site called theparkstreamers.com. And if you haven't been to it, you definitely need to go there. I'm going to present that right now to you guys and show you what we have. So this really is your e-ticket to theme park news. On this blog post, obviously, it's great because it'll tell you when our next hangout is, which is tonight right now, if you want to join it. Also, it shows some of our previous shows that we have done in the past. And we have our latest news. And one of our first latest news is right there in the middle. Well, it's Disney's Wonderful World of Sweets opens at Disneyland. And this is a candy lover's dream. I had the pleasure of going there. I believe Theme Park Casual had the pleasure of going there, and so did Cordy. So we've had the chance to check it out and see what it looks like. This opened last Wednesday night, and I didn't have the opportunity to go there until I think Friday. I think Casual went there on Wednesday when it opened. And Cordy, Did you say you went there on Wednesday as well?
Friday.
Okay, Friday. Gotcha. So this is the brand new store. If you remember before, they had Marceline's Confectionery, which was kind of right there to the right of the doors. And then on the left side, they had the Disney dress shop. And basically they closed the dress shop and Marceline's confectionery, and they joined the two stores together to make the Wonderful World of Sweets. And that's what they're calling it right now. So the Wonderful World of Sweets is pretty cool. Obviously, as a new store, they have some new things you can definitely check out. You'll notice that in this picture right here, they have a ton of new sweets. And some of them necessarily aren't new. I mean, obviously, you've got the Minnie Mouse Rice Krispie treat. So it's new because it's a mini one, but it's not a Rice Krispie treats. They have a lot of those and cake pops. What I think is cool is they have some new designs that we haven't seen before, which I really, really like. And even in the pastel colors. Hey, it looks like Park Streamer colors here. What's going on? But they have some really neat things. One of the cool things, I love the whole, Te Amo cookie they have at the top. They got their chocolate covered strawberries and whatnot. Obviously, you got your, tiger tails still that you can get there. So those are some of the things you can get in the actual case. But of course, they've got a lot of things that are around the shop. And you can see they kind of decorated it, especially with the ceiling, where you've got like big lollipops on the ceiling, which are really cool. And let's see here. I want to say down here, we have the new Poppi. So Poppi is a new popcorn bucket that they have. And this popcorn bucket comes with popcorn that's made with Werther's original candy. So it's Werther's original caramel candies. I actually had the opportunity to try it. I bought a couple bags, and I kind of wanted to see what you guys thought of it. Well, Danny, did you buy any? I don't think you bought any, right?
No, CL gifted me a bag.
Nice.
So I did get to try it. I'm not big on caramel popcorn, but this one I really liked. The caramel melts away. Most caramel popcorn, it's just like so sticky that it's like I'm afraid that my teeth are going to come right out of the gums. So right. I tend to steer, but I mean seriously, I tend to steer clear of caramel popcorn because of that. But this one, I'm assuming because it was somewhat fresh. I mean, it's they're making it throughout the day, and if you can grab it when the bags are just done getting packaged and sent over for sale, I can't imagine how good that popcorn is going to be. Because especially, I mean, I've still got a little bit left. I'm eating. I have some Skinny Pop, and I was, you doing 1 to 2, so 1 caramel popcorn to 2 Skinny popcorns, and if you let the caramel even 2 days later, if you let it sit in your mouth for a moment, it still melts away. Okay. So it's like a really, really good caramel.
Nice. You still have to try.
Cordy, what did you think of it? Oh, you still haven't eaten it?
No, but that that's probably that is my favorite. I like it better than regular popcorn.
So here's my take on it. So I purchased it on Friday, and the thing was, when I got it, I thought, wow, they're not really that warm, and they were literally just taking them from this, bucket and putting them onto the shelf. And the guy's like, oh, you need to grab one of these. These are fresh. I'm like, great. So I grab it. I grabbed 2 of them actually, and I took it home, and we didn't try them until yesterday. Now it was already kind of tasting a little stale, and I was like, well, that's kind of weird. I wonder why. And I thought, well, maybe I need to put it in the microwave and kind of heat it up a little bit. Maybe that'll help it. And well, my tip is do not put it in the microwave because it actually made it worse. It
seems like it would make the popcorn way too chewy.
It made the popcorn chew, but also it made it very, very sticky and hard. So thankfully, I only put half the bag into the microwave, and then I started eating it. It wasn't bad. It was good. Here's the thing that I didn't see on the back of the package, though. It was made on 1/23. I was like, 1/23? That was on Thursday. So when the guy had said, hey, these are made fresh and I'm putting them out there, you want to grab one of these? I was like, perfect. But then I didn't look on the back of the package to see that it was made the day before. And so that's why it was not warm or hot or fresh. And so I was a little disappointed in that. And then it says eat by 1:25. Well, yesterday it was 1:26. only a day after, but it was already starting to taste a little stale. So I was kind of disappointed in that because I thought it was going to be a lot better.
Well, see, for me, that actually makes sense, and I would actually say that that's a good thing, that it lets you know that it is freshly made, because popcorn shouldn't last all that long. It should get kind of chewy and kind of gross after just a little while. But when you get like Popcornopolis and everything, it's got so much coating on it, and it's sealed basically airtight within the candy itself. I would say this is a good thing. So that actually makes me like this even more. But I'm really gonna try to catch it when it's fresh. When you see them moving the bags out of the area where they're packaging it, because it's all right there in the windows. It's just like the candy apples. You can see them, putting the caramel in the bin and tumbling it with the popcorn in there, and then portioning it out. So.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to check the back of the bags now that I know that, though, because it just makes me want to make sure I'm buying one that's made the day.
Right, the day that you're
buying
there,
it,
at the very least.
Possible. Yeah. So if not, I'll be like, hey, can I get one of those fresh ones in the back?
No, that's a good tip for everybody, right? So if you're there.
Yeah, it is. Watch the back.
Check the bag.
Yeah. And by the way, it is, I mean, he's a cute little character, the Poppi. I'm not big on the popcorn bucket, so I'm not dying to go out and buy one, and I didn't. But one of the other things they definitely have, and they're trying to push these right now, are the Pez holders. So these are little monorails. You can get them in orange, blue, green, and they have the Pez.
Oh, that's a Pez holder. I marked it as
a Pez holder.
As a
popcorn bucket.
Popcorn bucket. I need to change that.
I saw that. I just noticed that. Actually, it's a Pez holder. So that's why they have the Pez right above them. And you can put up to 6 Pez items into the monorail. The cool thing is, if you buy 2 monorails, you can put them back to back, which are kind of cool. And hold a total of 12. But yeah, I don't know. It takes up a lot of room to hold all those Pez items. But the decor is kind of cool. I like how they did the pillars and stuff, and it's cool having the lollipop above on the ceiling. But the rest of the ceiling's a little plain. Kind of thought maybe they do a little bit more. And then right at the front there, you have the Disney Wonderful World suites. I like the castle, and I don't know if you guys noticed this, but this castle, it sort of reminds me of the birthday cake castle
definitely
they have for the 25th anniversary. So, I mean, it looks almost exactly like it. The case obviously is really nice that they have. Oh, and Theme Park Casual did. He showed it on his live stream that you can go see that he had last Wednesday. So you can definitely go check out that video. It's on our blog site. But you can see how they decorated it. Obviously, they've got several cases. I will tell you, and just note that if you are going to purchase something in the store, you have to grab a number. So if you don't know what you want right away, don't grab a number, because they go through them fairly quickly. But if you do want to purchase something, even if it's not in the case, you still have to grab a number so you can go to the register. I was talking to Cordy about this, and I said, it would be a good idea if they just had one register for people who didn't need to go to the counter and just wanted to buy something off the store shelves. It'd be a lot quicker. Who knows? Maybe they'll do something like that in the future. But right now, if you want to buy something, you literally have to grab a number when you go inside, and then when they call your number, you can purchase your items up front. So I did pick up a chocolate bar. It's called the Banana Foster's chocolate bar. It actually has Tiana on the front of it. I have not tried it yet, but I will tell you the chocolate bars are going for $5.99 each. So they're a little pricey. They also had a fiery jalapeno chocolate bar with Hades on the front, which I thought was kind of cool. I'm not huge on having spicy chocolate, but I know some people are. And I think, Ariel's all spicy chocolate, really? Yes, spicy chocolate. So, it's something you could definitely try if you wanted to. They've got a lot of, really cool things. I also bought little coconut patties are dipped in chocolate. Those are great. I've had those before, but they have all new packaging for them. And then I think I just bought a normal caramel apple, like you see here, right in the middle there. But yeah, they have some neat things to try and check out. But definitely bring your wallet because it can get a little pricey in there depending on what you want to get and how much you want to buy. I think I ended up walking out spending like $40 on a handful of items. So it's like, whew, okay, that was a bit much. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. But what was your overall take going to the store, Cordy?
We didn't spend a lot of time in there because it was Friday night and it was raining. So everybody was trying to escape the rain. So it was pretty much wall to wall people. And we could barely, my daughter, she's like, let's go. So we went in one door and went out the other. But I thought it was really cute. I'd like to go back and, check it out when it's not so crazy. I know that Terry brought up about, the numbers, pulling the little number, but they had that there for Marceline's too. So that's the same, but I do wish that they would, like we were talking about, Bob, either have a register or at least do like a mobile checkout. Because I know they do mobile order, but they don't have everything on the mobile order menu. But a mobile checkout like they do at some of the shops would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think so. And from a marketing standpoint, Theme Park Casual, what did you think of this store?
At first I was kind of like, why? I don't get why they went through all the trouble, but then I realized, so they expanded the store quite a bit. They've got the popcorn that's made fresh now, the caramel popcorn made fresh. I do like the decor in there, especially the one little spot with It's a Small World, the rocket, and the steamboat. I like it, but it makes me think back to when the Disney store was around and how the displays at the Disney store used to have like a grandness about them that it almost felt like you were in a dark ride, right? Because they were so, they were massive, some of the displays. And all I can think is if this was late 80s, early to mid 90s when they did this store, that thing would look like like you just walked into the Willy Wonka factory, because it would just be like so over the top. But they don't do that now. So everything's much more, minimal, much more functional, if you will. So I get it, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, when I look at the little displays, they look adorable. I love them, but it makes me miss, how grand they used to go with these kind of things, how over the top and how they were, unlike any other store around. So
right.
That's my thing. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. No, go ahead.
It's just one of those things where it's like, I'm the old codger in the room, going, in my day, they would have done that, so, but it's a cute store. It's got, like I said, I understand why they did it. And the fact that the caramel popcorn is made fresh, that's a plus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. So Christina H says, it's a cute store, but the line was very long. And my line, it was fairly long too, but it moved fairly quickly because I had a couple of registers going. But like Cordy and I were talking, I think it would be so much better if we could actually just have one separate line where we didn't have to, buy something in front. No, yeah, I know.
Give them a minute.
Sweets.
Just give them a minute. You would think, but I'm actually kind of glad. I was thinking about it with the Poppi thing. I like that they're trying something new and creating, an additional character. It's like, it's complete marketing ploy. I get it. But if it hits, it'd be great. It's always fun to have, unique little stuff like that. I'd rather them create a new character for this and see how it goes than, cram another, tried and true IP, if you will, into something like this. I'll give them the kudos for trying the new Popcorn Bucket character.
Yeah, I felt the same way. I was kind of like, where's Vanellope Bunch Weeks? What's going on here? But then same time, I was like, oh, well, we've got Poppi here, and that's kind of cool. And who knows, maybe they'll create another, character or lollipop character or something, in the near future. But I like the idea that, maybe this is Poppi's store or something, even if it's not. They have a brand new character. And one of my complaints in the park has been, hey, can we get some new original stuff instead of just always referring to an IP? So it was kind of nice that they didn't actually, do an IP in the store. They could, and I would totally be fine with it. Lynn says gives people who aren't able to enter the park more of the Disney experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, and Terry,
treats.
what was that?
Because you can get the same treats. So you're
Right.
If you're whatever blocked out or you're just visiting downtown Disney, you get that opportunity, which is nice.
Yeah, and I don't know if they had them before at Marceline's, but they've got the ice cream bars and Mickey ice cream sandwiches there now. So
Yeah.
So yeah, you could basically go get your Disney snack fix practically right there.
Did they bring back the fresh
no.
fudge?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Bern, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I was surprised. I kind of thought they would bring back the fudge, and they didn't. So that was a little, disappointing. However, I think one of the cool things that I really enjoy is that you don't just have the window you had before for Marceline's confectionery off to the side. Now you've got two, and I kind of like that they have two there because you can. And when I was there, I think they were doing caramel apples. They were doing the Tigger Tiger Tails. I can't even say it right. And then they had what else they had? They had something else they were making. I'm trying to remember. Maybe it was the Rice Krispie treats. And then way off to the far left, and in front of the windows, they were doing the popcorn. Mm-hmm. Now they weren't making the popcorn fresh. They actually already had the popcorn completed. Mm-hmm. They were actually putting the popcorn into the bags and stuff, and that was really neat. So I'm glad that we have two different separate windows so we can see a lot of different things being made. Because to me, seeing everything being made fresh, one, I love seeing all the cast members making fresh candy, but two, it also makes you go, wow, they're making a lot of fresh things here. Now, granted, these are the things that are going to be in the cases or the popcorn. It's not all the other stuff that's, they're already packaged and pre-made. But what's nice is that you can find some of the stuff that you find in the parks, as well as some new original stuff. And it's not a lot of new original, but it's got enough that I was happy with it for what I saw.
Yeah, and I like with the windows because I love that stuff too, where you're like, it's just fun, and I'm like, how many times have I filmed them making caramel apples and candied apples? But and I like that if I remember correctly, for the popcorn as we walk by, you could watch. If it's not busy, you can actually watch from the inside, like the glass.
Yes,
it goes all the way around to the outside.
That's true. Okay. You have inside glass, and so you can see from behind, and you can see from the front window, and that's what's so cool. And they also have a little bit of a side window, I believe, over there by the other windows where you used to have the Marceline's confectionery. So it's really cool that they did that, and I'm glad because I think it's nice, having that open. It's like Knott's Berry Farm. You go there and you see the Calico candy store, and they've got all the fudge laid out, and you've got your, the different types of nuts that are, caramelized and in the, under the heater and everything. It's just so cool to see everything laid out in glass. It's just really cool, and I'm glad they do things like that. So awesome.
Well, I think we do have a lot of people who jumped in.
Yep, I've got a list going here, so it's time for magic mirror time. Yeah. We've got David Diaz, GV559, Gladys, Terry, CJL, Tamara Delaney, Robert Sprite, John Way, Peyton Edwards, Mike McCain, Good Vibes, Monorail Molly, and Eric Smoke. So welcome in, everybody. And we've got Pete McDevitt, who just jumped into the chat. Welcome in, Pete.
And I think I don't remember hearing Lynn's name, so just in case, Lynn did come in earlier, and Terry.
Yeah,
Terry.
Yeah, I did say hi to Lynn. Cool. Yeah. Monorail Molly. Wow, look at everyone come in. Well, welcome in, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. We have a lot to talk about, so I think we should probably carry on to our next topic. So let me bring that up. And again, if you haven't been to the parkstreamers.com, definitely go check it out. We've got a lot of great articles on here. Some of the things we're not even talking about tonight, like the new book that they have for the Knott's Berry Tales.
Speaking of Knott's, Eric Smoke, who was out last December, said, I didn't eat a single thing at Knott's. I did it wrong. Yes, you did.
You got it. Oh, you definitely have to check out the food at Knott's. It's really, really good. We also have a couple other articles in here, like the Disney volunteers who provided comfort and support to families affected by the LA wildfires. Cordy did this amazing Disney California Adventure Lunar New Year 2025 foodie guide, so you definitely want to check that out. But what we're going to talk about right now is the Disney Experiences unveils exciting leadership changes to drive future growth. Well, that's correct. We actually have a brand new president for Disneyland. It's going to be starting in March. So the current president is off to the left here. That's Ken Potrock. The brand new president that we have here is right in the middle. This new president, his name is Thomas, and I hope I'm pronouncing his last name correctly, Mazloum. And Thomas, you may be wondering, who's this guy and where he came from, or where did he come from? He's actually been with the company for a long time. He actually started off in 1998 as the hotel director for the Disney Cruise Line. And later he served as general manager for food and beverage and special events at Epcot. And then he actually left for a little bit. He actually went to Crystal Cruise Lines and worked for them. But he returned in 2017, and he served as vice president of operations for Walt Disney World. And he oversaw 31 Disney resort hotels, as well as Disney Springs, ESPN, Wild World of Sports, and transportation operations. So he's done quite a bit. And also he was the president of the Disney Signature Experiences. So as I mentioned, he oversaw Disney Vacation Club, the company's vacation ownership program, the Adventures by Disney, the National Geographic expeditions, the company's guided travel business. He also did the Golden Oak. It's a luxury community of custom homes at the Walt Disney World Resort. He's obviously worked with Aulani, which is over in Hawaii. He did the Story Living by Disney, and that's the master plan communities that highlights the attention to detail, unique amenities, and special touches that are Disney hallmarks. So he's done a lot. And so this is going to be new for him, taking over the Disneyland Resort as the president. But he'll be in charge of 36,000 cast members, all the facets of the business, including the Disneyland and Disney California Adventure theme parks, the 3 resort hotels, and the downtown Disney district. And obviously he's going to guide the resort during this kind of exciting time of growth. If you think about it, he's going to oversee the 70th anniversary celebration that kicks off in 2025. Obviously he's going to follow up with Disneyland Forward, which will unlock a lot of opportunities and expansion for investment in Anaheim over the next 40 years. So he's got a lot ahead of him, and clearly he's got a lot of background working with the Disney Company. And then the 2 times he's worked for him, and I think it's going to be a great new position for him. But what are your thoughts of this new president coming in, Danny and Cordy?
Well, I don't really know him. I haven't, looked into much of what he's done. Going off of what you've listed, it seems like somebody that's been with the company. So hopefully he knows the company. And I guess the main thing I would like to see is someone who understands theme parks and Disneyland specifically. Mm-hmm. So it's time will tell, obviously. But hopefully he can understand that Disneyland is a very special place. It's not something to kind of come in and just think, oh, well, let's try this, let's try that kind of thing. It's right. You need to be very careful, in my opinion, when it comes to Disneyland, Disneyland proper. Let's give him leeway, with California Adventure and all those kind of things and whatnot, and see what happens. But as long as he has an affinity for Disneyland and understands the culture of that park in particular, then hopefully it'll be a good thing.
Cordy, what are your thoughts?
Same. I haven't had a chance to really, dig into any research about him, but I'm hopeful, right? With his resume, it sounds like might have that imagination of just creating, just some magical things for us without going too far, like you said, TBC, right? Like don't go changing a bunch of things, just right. Kind of lift that magic up.
Well, and considering that he oversaw the signature experiences, hopefully
Right.
we can bring some of that magic, because those have, they get high marks on those things.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. No,
I haven't
exactly.
heard anybody really complaining about the, Adventures by Disney and, the hoity-toity, rich people stuff. So hopefully he can bring some of that magic into, Disneyland for,
Special parks, yeah.
so that more people can experience things like that. And it may not be as grand as, being able to afford a Adventures by Disney, but if you can capture the essence of it
Yeah.
and bring it, to the masses, if you will, that would be amazing in my book.
I agree. Well, he has a lot of experience. The theme parks are going to be new, I think, for him. He's obviously, handled a lot of the, cruise lines and the resorts and things like that. So he's got that down, and hopefully he'll be able to take the reins from Ken and move on. Obviously, he's got a lot of work ahead of him too. I'm not sure how much is planned out already for the 70th anniversary. I'm sure, there's not too much that he can interject in there. Maybe he can in the next few months. I don't know. But I'm kind of hoping they're going to be doing some more things than what they've already said. Obviously, we'll see how things are handled. There's definitely some things I think could be improved, at the parks. And hopefully, he can build on some of those things and, keep going what's going well and improve things that need to be improved. So we have some other things or announcements for the people here, the key leaderships. What did I miss something?
Just laughing at GV.
Oh, what did GV say?
It says TPC is hoping the new guy will get rid of Toy Story. I don't even need him to get rid. They don't even need to get rid of Toy Story. I was talking with it in my mod chat that all they need to do is rename it the Murder Beaver Lot, and I will park there forever.
But let's not forget who endorsed it on Saturday.
That was because
who endorsed it?
It was probably because of my video that the parking structure was just absolutely overloaded. Everybody said, you know what, we have to listen to TPC. TPC said never go to Toy Story. So, hundreds and thousands of people were just flooding the Mickey and Friends parking structure because of that one video.
Oh, geez.
The timing was perfect.
While I am flattered and I love that people are taking my opinion to heart and understanding that I'm continually right. We need to understand that we should not all arrive at the same time, though. So that's probably going to be my next video, is explaining how if you're going to Disneyland, call your friends, find out if they're going, what time they're going, and just arrange to be there half an hour later. And the Mickey and Friends parking structure will be such a more magical experience for everyone. And well, you're welcome.
I'm waiting for the day that he has to park outside the normal main parking lot for Knott's Berry Farm. He's like, I had to park on Western, and do you know how hard it is to cross that street on Western? Oh, geez. TPC, do you hear how freezing cold the bus was?
I see. I could have never said anything. I don't even know if I was talking to the chat Geofire. But I said,
that's hilarious.
It was raining, and I was like, oh, I'll take the bus, right? Because usually the heater's on, all the VIP treatment. I got on. He had the air conditioning on. My breath, and I'm like, quickly had a scarf, and I was covering my face. I'm like, this is the longest ride to the park.
Oh, that's hilarious.
See, we don't have that on the trams.
No, you freeze no matter what on the tram.
We just know we're going to freeze. And Barbara Duncan has it right. It wasn't an endorsement. It was a flex.
It was a flex.
Oh, there we go. Is that like a flex ticket from Disneyland?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. I think we had a couple other people come to the chat too. We have Cassandra. Hello.
Cassandra.
John Ray.
We've got Day Walker, Alan Smithy, Ambrosia.
Nice.
Welcome in, everyone.
Very cool. All right. So to continue on, if you're wondering, well, where the heck is Ken Potrock going? Who's currently the president of Disneyland, who's leaving in March. Well, he is actually going to be involved with. He's going to be the president of Major Events Integration. So he'll be working with the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics, the 250th anniversary in the United States, the Super Bowl, the FIFA World Cup. So he'll be basically working with all of these different major events for Disney. And then we also have Joe Schott. He actually is the president of Disney Signature Experiences. He's been with the company for 40 years, and he's now going to lead Disney with the cruise line, Disney Vacation Club, Aulani, Adventures by Disney. Basically everything that that Thomas was doing, Joe's going to be doing now. And then lastly, we got Andrew Bolstein. He actually is going to be in charge of Shanghai Disney Resort, and he's been with the company for about 13 years. But his background is Disney parks around the globe, from Walt Disney World to Hong Kong and Tokyo, sorry. And he's now going to be the lead. And previously the lead was Joe. So they've kind of just mixed them all up and around. The only one that's actually going to something, that's outside of the Disney parks is Ken Potrock. But all four of these leadership changes will take effect in March. And if you want to read up more, you can definitely go to the parkstreamers.com and you can check out and read all about, Disney's experiencing exciting leadership changes to drive future growth, which is really cool. Yeah. Let's see. Next on our list, what do we have? I think we have the exciting enhancements coming to Disneyland Resorts and Hotels, and they have some things that they've announced that are going to be kind of cool. So they are going to expand everything for the Pixar Place Hotel, the Disneyland Hotel, and obviously the Grand California Hotel. And so basically what they're going to be doing is, sorry, maybe we lost one of you guys or something like that. I heard some dings in my ear there. So they are going to be changing not just the hotels, but some of the restaurants as well. So one of the first things they're going to do is they're going to transform the Napa Rose restaurant, which is it's a really nice restaurant, but they're really going to make it a little more upscale inside, and it's going to look really, really nice. So you'll have a breathtaking new, redesign. It's blending the classic craftsman architecture with modern California luxury. Obviously, this is inspired by California's rich winemaking heritage, and they're going to have a new interior that's going to showcase basically like French oak flooring. They're going to have handcrafted metalwork and deep Cabernet colored accents. They're going to have this spectacular chandelier that you see there. That's inspired by the Mission's grapevines or California Mission's grapevines. And it's also going to serve as the restaurant's stunning focal point. So they're definitely making some change there. They're going to do 2 new concierge lounges that are going to be coming to the Disneyland Hotel. We have the High Key Club, and this will be an area where hotel guests can immerse themselves in music and sound. And this is taking them back to the 1955 era, which is great. So it's going to be a sophisticated yet playful space, and it's going to celebrate the rich musical legacy of Disneyland with curated artifacts and custom soundtrack, and then a mid-century modern decor. And then obviously the lounge is going to double the size of the previous concierge level space in the Adventure Tower, and offer a prime viewing location for Disneyland fireworks, complete with synchronized show music on select nights. So that'll be really cool that you'll be able to watch the fireworks from this area, and it'll just be like you're in the park, but you get to be in this lounge, which is really, really cool. The other place they have is the Sequoia theme lounge. It's at the Disney's Grand California Hotel and Spa. And this one is going to be, inspired, it's drawing inspiration from California's majestic sequoia forest. So it's going to be a 2-story retreat slated for completion in 2026. It's going to have breathtaking views of the hotel's great hall lobby, which is pretty cool because that hall lobby, I love it. I think it's amazing. You got the, elegant craftsman style design with handcrafted tile murals and wrought iron accents. You got the expansive skylights that breathe space into natural light, and also a grand stained glass door and curved staircase leading to the mezzanine. over at the Pixar Place Hotel, they're going to introduce 2 new themed signature suites. So the hotel rooms will stay the same because obviously it's a brand new hotel room or hotel, or I should say reimagined hotel. But they're going to have 2 brand new themed suites. The first one is going to be based on Coco, and the second one's going to be based on The Incredibles. The Coco suite, well, it's going to be designed to resemble the Riviera's family hacienda, and it's going to showcase the Oaxaca-style architecture with terracotta tiling. They're going to have hand-woven textiles and artisan craft furniture, a cozy fireplace, and family photo displays. And then for the Incredibles suite, which you can see right here, they're going to have a mid-century modern escape with a spy-fi twist. And the suite is actually going to feature a hand-scanning entry prop for an interactive welcome. That's kind of cool. It'd be really cool if it actually worked, with your real hand, but there might be issues with that too. But it's really cool they actually have something interactive to come into the, the suite. You've got the superhero inspired technology, including hidden messages and secret doors, and a custom designed room by Edna Mode herself. And these immersive suites will join the hotel's existing accommodations, providing guests with even more ways to experience the Pixar magic. And then we have the guest room refresh at Disney's Grand California Hotel and Spa. So they're going to do new bolder looks and patterns in the carpets, upholstery, and bedding. You can kind of see what they're talking about here. That definitely looks a lot bolder. They're going to have floral accents inspired by California's wildflower blooms. They're going to have exclusive commissioned artwork from local painters. Sorry, I can't even talk there. And then obviously, everything that they're doing is going to complement everything that has been a part of the Grand California Hotels, the whole arts and crafts theme. And then over at the Pixar Place Hotel, they are going to, I already mentioned what they're doing over there. Sorry, that was above. So we have some new things that are coming to the resort, obviously. They obviously have the new lounges, which are great. They have the new rooms, and they have the new suites. So is there anything exciting that you find here? I mean, what do you think, Theme Park Casual? Are you looking forward to all this refresh and all the things they're planning on doing for the hotels?
Honestly, most of this stuff is out of my price range, so I'll never get to experience it, probably. Napa Rose, I've never eaten there, mainly because Mrs. Casual is vegetarian, and whenever it's a fancy restaurant like that, she'll get her meal and be like, how much did we pay for this? Because it's usually a pasta or vegetable dish, and she's usually like, that wasn't worth $65 or something like that, So we tend to, steer clear of, the ultra fancy places. The concierge level.
Mm-hmm.
No. I just, like I said, out of my price range. Sorry. So,
but look at the breathtaking views, and this is 1955 circa.
Well, that's what I was going to say. In that image, a mid-century modern, I am not feeling it. That is about the most subtle mid-century modern I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
It's like just because the chairs have a little round back like that does not equal everything's mid-century modern. It just. Again, it's one of those things where it's like I expect, a theme when Disney does a theme, and I know this is the fancier people, so they're probably reeling back a little bit on the over the top stuff. But for me, it's like it should be over the top. It should be, the Howard Johnson across the street does better mid-century modern. So that lets you know what I think of this particular concept art. It could be just the concept art doesn't, do it justice, and they're going to adjust. But, that's my opinion. The one at the Grand Californian, though, that one looks amazing. I love the way that one looks with the second floor. You going up like that. That looks really, really nice. The suites at Pixar Place, again, that's fine. I'm not spending $3,500 a night to stay in the Incredibles room. Sorry.
No, I hear you, and I totally understand everything you're saying. I mean, same thing. One of my concerns, and I've brought this up, especially recently with Tiana's and some of the other things they've shown at D23, is they show concept art that doesn't actually turn out to be what the concept art look. I mean, look at the Madame Leota Somewhere Beyond. It's not quite like what the concept art showed at all, especially on the outside.
Right.
I think the concept art looks a lot better than what they have now. And we'll probably be talking about that a little bit later. But what I'm hoping they're not showing this concept art and then it's like, oh, well, it's not going to be like that at all, or it's going to be similar but not quite. I like it, and I know it's concept. That's why it's called concept art. But typically in Disney's past, when they show concept art, it's actually what they're showing is what they're going to do. Maybe some things will be tweaked here and there, but most of it's the same. Whereas, and recently we've had a lot of concept art that it doesn't quite turn out like that. So
yeah, and some things you can get it. You can get the concept art not going to match, but when it's pretty drastic, that's where it gets frustrating. But what about you, Cordy? When are you going to? Which suite are you booking? Are you going to book the Coco suite or the Incredible suite? You're muted. Oh man, we're missing a good rant.
I know we are. What's going on there? Okay, let's see if we can unmute. Oh no, you have to unmute yourself.
Oh, hi.
Cordy.
Sorry.
Hi.
I'm sure we missed an incredible rant. We had hands flailing and everything.
Like,
no, I said, yeah, I've already got my, they've already prepared, I have a reservation for a suite, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
No, I've only done that once. California, I did stay at the Grand, but way back when I think it was a credit union, and we stayed for $99, which is, can you believe that?
Yeah.
At the Grand Californian?
Yeah, I got to stay one time. I think we paid $160 because it was.
And then we got the park, right? You get to go into the
company
park
event.
after it closed and everything. So that was.
Casual Junior was so little, we actually put him in the little like daycare thing that they had because we were going to a company event. So he got to go to the little Pinocchio or Playland or whatever the little thing that they did there. He was that small when we did it.
Well, believe it or not, I've never stayed at the Grand Californian. Ariel wants me to book that, and we don't live very far away, so it's kind of hard to justify that kind of money.
Yeah,
and obviously, I mean, if you guys paid $99 and $160, those are way better than $700-800 a night. During the week and over $1,000 during the weekend. That's kind of crazy. But what else do you think? What do you think about all the other stuff, Cordy? Do you like the concept art for the lounges? Do you like what they're doing with the hotel suites and the room refreshes?
I do. I mean, even though the chances of us, like we're talking about experiencing the some of these things are slim, but I like it. I mean, the restaurants. I haven't been to Napa Rose either. I haven't been to a lot of these, I haven't even been to Storytellers, but
what? You haven't been to Storytellers? I'm shocked.
No.
Wow, I've been there too many times.
Really? Yeah. Even to go to Goofy's Kitchen, I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'll try it.
Well,
TPC, you and I aren't that much different.
Well, I will say the reason why we've gone to Storytellers Cafe so many times because my dad and Ariel and I enjoy going there, and it's always great to eat there. The only thing is, if you want to see the characters, you can only see them at breakfast and lunchtime. They don't have them at dinner, but they do have a good breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or I guess you should say brunch. At Goofy's Kitchen, it's morning, noon, and night. It's all the characters all the time. It doesn't change, and it is a little bit more pricier at Goofy's Kitchen than Storytellers Cafe, but I enjoy it. I always think it's a good place to eat, and their food is usually pretty consistent. But yeah, it can be a little pricey. Not as pricey as Goofy's Kitchen, but definitely.
Yeah, but I love it. I love from what they've shown here. It is something. What's nice is all of this. These are things that we can all access, right? If we want to go and, have a drink, you could just, you don't have to get a whole dinner. I'm sure, I would hope, right, that you could go and order whatever you wanted if you wanted to just experience it. But yeah, no, I'm all for any enhancements and upgrades they can make.
Yeah, I definitely like the room refresh for the Grand California. I think that looks really nice.
Mhm,
But you're right.
it
I'm
does.
probably
Yeah,
not
looks
going to
nice.
see it anytime soon. So
It's much brighter because it was very rustic. I do remember that. Like,
Yeah.
you know, but yeah, that looks nice and bright.
yeah. All right. Do we have? Let's see. Is any comments in the chat there about?
We're talking about corn
What are we
dogs in the
covering?
chat. We're like, we're
Yeah, I
going,
was
we're
going
going
to say
Corn
it's,
dogs.
it's gone completely off the rails in the chat.
How did we go
They're
to
on Main
corn
Street
dogs?
eating corn dogs while we're discussing these
Fancy
snooty
corn
hotel restaurants.
Wow.
But we do have a few more people that have come in, I believe.
Yeah, we had Dark Ride Arts swing by. I believe he had to head off to Dreamland. Nathan, we've got Deborah Baca, Christy PH Disney, Brian Sevilla. I think that covers everybody that snuck in here a little bit for just a few minutes ago.
Did you say Dark Ride Arts took off?
Yeah, he came
Oh.
in and was hanging out for a few minutes and then said he had to get to bed. He's on the East
And we
Coast. So.
said hello to Karen, right? Karen E.
Oh, Karen E. Did I miss Karen?
Karen E, how are you? Welcome
Welcome
in. Oh, corn dogs with caviar.
Yes. Instead of
I'm
mustard.
with EXP. I'll just stick with the corn dogs, the honey mustard there.
All right, but that just reminds me though that I'm not sure if we're going to necessarily talk about it tonight, but I do want to bring it up since we're talking corn dogs. The Peanut Celebration Foods announcement dropped, and one of the items is basically corn dog, but it's meatballs.
Yeah, let me.
Is that what it was? I couldn't tell.
Yeah, it's meatballs on a stick, but basically they're battered and deep fried.
Interesting.
So yeah, I'm curious about that one.
Are they boysenberry meatballs?
If they want to send it over the top, yes, it'll be
should.
boysenberry
I would
meatballs.
totally try it.
So this is from Our Knott's Adventure. You got the shrimp and grits double stuffed baked potato. I'm not a huge shrimp and grits person. I love grits for breakfast, but not shrimp and grits. I don't know how this is going to be. It looks good, but I don't know. The potato doesn't, usually Knott's has some pretty big food items. That potato doesn't look that huge, so might be kind of small. We also have the tots with sausage gravy and fried chicken leg. Interesting. Never thought of that one. But where's the boysenberry in there? It's not the Boysenberry Festival. That's right. All right. We also have the Patty's Melts, which I think is classic. That's cool. Yeah. Peppermint patty. We got the gumbo with rice and garlic toast. That actually looks good. Like
I was going to say, it looks good. I wouldn't eat it, but it looks good.
Why?
Very well presented. Is that shrimp?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You don't do seafood.
I don't do seafood.
That's funny because you see food and you eat it.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey. Let's get to the cornball.
Moving on, Bob.
Hold on.
Where's the cornball?
Here we go. Battered fried meatballs on a stick. Yeah, you know what? If they're boysenberry meatballs, then I'm in.
Yeah, that would be worth trying.
That would be really good. I mean, I hope, but
look, it looks like it might be some boysenberry in there. I don't know, but
yeah, who knows? Well, I'm
going
to try them. I know that.
Okay. We also have the Thai chicken peanut pizza. Interesting. Now, look, if you guys have been CPK, I've had the Kung Pao spaghetti, and I think it's amazing. This is like one of those things where it's like, it looks interesting. I bet you it is pretty good. So we'll see. We also have the chopped chicken and orzo salad. Nope. No one's really excited about that one, I can tell.
Yeah.
Boneless honey garlic chicken thighs. You know what? That actually looks pretty good, but it looks like he only got one thigh there. That's like, you remember the other night when we were trying I was trying the tacos, but it was only one taco.
Right.
It says thighs, but it's probably only just one thigh. It does look good though, and the rice looks good. I'm not sure what kind of rice.
Yeah, it looks like interesting rice. So
yeah. And then we have the fire roasted corn fries. I want
to try that.
I love a good elote. I think fried corn is amazing. I don't know about fried corn on my French fries. I don't know about that one.
Yes, you have to have the
potato.
I don't like any corn on my potatoes typically. All right, and then we got.
I'd probably go for that.
You guys are weird. I'm just kidding. We got the Reuben tacos. This is interesting. I've never thought about having a Reuben taco. So I don't know. I'm not huge. I'm not a
I
huge
love
corned beef person.
pastrami. So
Or pastrami. Sorry, I said corned beef.
I,
Yeah, pastrami.
it looks like it's got sauerkraut. So I think this is one that if I hear good reviews, I'm definitely trying it. And if I haven't heard any reviews by the time I've got an option and it looks, I'm probably going to give it a shot.
And this actually looks interesting. Biddy burger. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's worth a try.
it could be. We'll see.
Do we know
It's
if
got
these are
potential.
on the meal plan?
What's that?
They didn't note whether all of these are on meal plan or not.
Oh yeah, they didn't, and
So
some may
excited.
be, and some may not. Usually, they try to put a lot of them on the meal plan.
Yeah.
But
Brian
we'll see.
Sevilla, these are for Peanut Celebration, not Boysenberry Festival yet. So this is Peanut Celebration food.
Now, this actually sounds pretty good. It's a lemon and blueberry yogurt loaf.
What
Yeah, see,
number?
that one's a Mrs. Casual because she loves lemon and blueberry. So that one might be one for me to bring home and have her taste test it.
Oh, and speaking of which, we got to go revisit the food that we had last week because I tried something new yesterday. I tried that taro bread. Ooh,
Yeah,
that
I
was
see.
good.
I told you.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see here. We also have the PB&J funnel cake with bacon.
This is the one that Trish wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, really, Trish? This is the one you want? So here's the thing. I love funnel cake. I love ice cream. I love bacon. Peanut butter and jelly on my funnel cake? I don't know. I love jelly.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, this would have to be one that I'd have to share with somebody who's excited to get it and is like already thinking they're going to like it. Because I'm like, I don't know if I would necessarily go for it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of something I don't think I would go for either is this one. This is the deep fried PB&J Uncrustable. And I'm like, were you guys running out of ideas to come up with something? Hey, let's take an Uncrustable and just fry it.
Yeah,
so I was like, hey, let's
it's about as
fried
lazy
Oreo.
as you can get.
Right. So, I mean, look, I love Knott's Berry Farm. I love their food. They come up with some really great, interesting things. This is one of those things where I'm like, really? You took it and you deep fried the Twinkie. Okay, great. Well, you did the PB&J Uncrustable. Really? Okay. Hey, it does look like it comes with some cherries or something. So, or strawberries. I don't know what the heck that is. All right, and then they were on a PB&J streak here. You got the PB&J cookie.
Well, they tend to do that with Peanut Celebration. Peanut Celebration,
I know.
they tend to have that one item that kind of, it has a little bit of a theme. I think last year it was mac and cheese. Everything was mac and cheese, mac and cheese, mac and cheese. So this year they're doing PB&J, which I think that means next year is what going to be like chicken nuggets. Because it seems like they're doing
maybe.
Well, with Peanut Celebration, it looks like they're taking kids' food and putting twists on it, which is really cute. I like that. So
that's true.
Next year it's chicken nuggies that we're going to get all sorts of different fantastical little recipes.
You know what? If it's chicken nuggies and you're correct, I will buy you the Sip and Savor thing next year. Now their cookie witches are pretty darn good at the park. However, they can be hit and miss depending on what kind of cookie you have. This one, it looks like it's a sugar cookie with PB&J, so hopefully it's good. I'm not one for peanut butter. I don't know what it is. Peanut butter is not one of my favorite things. I love peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, but when it comes to peanut butter in my ice cream or cookies, I'm not real big on that one, so I'll probably pass. But this is something I will definitely not pass on because, as I told you earlier, I bought a Banana Foster's, chocolate bar from the new sweet shop at Downtown Disney. Well, this is
that
a
one.
Banana Foster's.
Dying for this one.
Yes, Banana Foster's cobbler funnel cake. Oh my gosh, that looks, and I bet you it's going to taste great because I love a good Banana Foster. So if you guys have never had Banana Foster's, you got to try it. I mean, it's amazing.
So we're doing a
bananas,
hangout
the caramel sauce.
When is this?
We'll be hitting Peanut Celebration at some point.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to head down there, just let me know. We'll meet up and we'll attack the Bananas Foster.
Yeah, let me hold on one second, because I forgot to bring that up.
I was just, while we're doing that, I was going to let Paul know. They actually, at the Magic Key Terrace, when they first opened back up, they had the Monte Cristo on a stick.
Oh, yes.
It was
Mhm.
delicious. I wish they never took it off the menu, but unfortunately they
So
did.
what was different about it on the stick or did they just
It was
put it on
bad.
the
It was
stick?
it was just corn dog form, like the same
Okay.
corn dog.
Okay.
But it was really, really good.
So the Peanut Celebration is happening. It's only weekends, February 8th through March 9th. Last year it started at the end of January. I'm surprised they
They
decided not
pushed
to
it
do
out.
sooner.
They pushed it out a week or two this year.
Mm-hmm. I think to get it a little bit closer to the Boysenberry Festival, because once it ends, they'll kick off the Boysenberry Festival.
Yeah.
But yeah, weekends, February 8th through March 9th, plus President's Day, which is February 17th. That's my wife's birthday. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. They always have a shirt with a pin that comes free with the shirt every single year. Unfortunately, you can't click on this one this year. Let's see if I can zoom in real quick. And you can kind of see what it looks like. Oh, well, it's kind of, let me see if I can. Oh, I can't. So basically, it's kind of looks like this. I'll try to zoom out one more time. There we go. So it starts from $17.99. Obviously, I think the larger shirt's a little bit more, but it's going to be a gray shirt this year with the different Peanuts gang on it, and then of course it'll come with a pin. So it's sizes small to 4XL, and then use extra small to large. And if you buy it in the park, it's you get $2 off. So, and you can get it through March 9th. So that's kind of cool. Let me back out here. There we go. So some of the things they are going to have, which I think is cool, is they're going to have Snoopy's legendary rooftop concert. They're also going to have the life and art of Charles M. Schulz, which I'm really glad they're doing that. Last year they had Franklin and the history of Franklin, how he became, part of the Phoenix gang. And I think that was cool. You got to do a meet and greet with Franklin, as well as see, the very first comic strip he was in and how he was integrated into the Phoenix gang. So that's really cool. I'm glad they're doing the art and life for Charles M. Schulz. I think that's really cool that they're doing that. And then obviously they're going to have a Peanuts on the go cavalcade. They'll be walking around the park. And they're also going to have another show called Let's Celebrate. It's on the Calico Mine stage, and it's to celebrate the momentous occasion of the Peanuts celebrating their 75th anniversary. And it's hard to believe, 75 years. And hey, speaking of some Disney trivia, do you guys remember what Snoopy was originally going to be called? Anybody know? What? Oh, come on. Before he became Snoopy, he was going to be called something else.
Okay, let's see if anybody in the chat knows.
Yeah, okay, so does any...
No Googling. So maybe it says Doug.
No, it's not Doug.
A for effort.
And GV559, I agree. I wish they would do a highlight of each one of the characters from Peanuts. Like last year, they kind of gave us more information on Franklin and kind of dedicated some. I would love to see them do that on each one of the characters. Every year they choose a new one, and
yeah, that would be nice.
That they've got at least 10 years worth of characters that they could dive into like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Alan said Spike.
No, so Spike was eventually what he called, his uncle, but he thought about Spike, but he did not. It starts with an S, though.
Oh.
Did Most Wanted get it?
Smithy?
Did he Google it?
It's,
No,
it's an honor system here. I said no Googling. I just have to take their word for it.
Yeah.
So the original name for Snoopy was going to be Sniffy.
Interesting.
Yes.
Snoopy.
So he wanted to name it Sniffy. Unfortunately, right before he named it Sniffy, he found out that there was another copyright on another dog named Sniffy. So he had to come up with something else. And so he always remembered that his mom once said, if the family were to ever have another dog, they should name it Snoopy. So literally, his mom named the dog Snoopy, and
Wow.
that's what he called Snoopy. So it was
Can you
originally supposed to
imagine?
be Sniffy.
We would have had Sniff Diffie Dog or whatever he would be called then, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool to, I love, see, you guys know me. I love the history stuff. It's awesome, learning
Mhm.
about this. But Sniffy, can you imagine? Hey, it's Sniffy Dog instead of Snoopy.
Mm.
I think Snoopy fits way better, and I love it.
Yeah.
Where's the other Sniffy now? I rest my case. True, right? So that's what Barbara said. Um,
You
Snoop
guys are
Dogg.
funny. You guys
Yeah, you guys are cracking up in the
constantly
chat.
smiling, looking at the chat.
Snoop
Love
Dogg.
it.
And so a little. By the way, a lot of you probably don't realize this, and I've mentioned it on my channel, but I actually went to school with Snoop Dogg, and they called him Snoopy at school. So he wasn't called Snoop Dogg; he was called Snoopy, and
Yeah.
that's what everyone called him. It
That's what
wasn't
his
until
mom called him.
later.
Mhm.
Yeah, wasn't until later. And by the way, he was tall, skinny guy with a really short afro, and he went to my school for 1 year and got kicked out. Went to another school, got kicked out, and graduated from another school. So, but he was in my yearbook, yeah. So it was funny seeing him in the yearbook.
And now he's best friends with Martha Stewart.
Yeah. All right. So
SNI double F.
What's that?
SNI double F.
Double F. Yes. Where did that go? Oh, you know what? Did I close that? Oh, there it is. Okay, great. So something else I want to bring up with us tonight. Let's see if I can share this page. We got a lot of different things happening. So if you're into special events, especially the After Dark events at Disneyland, well, tomorrow is the big day for Disneyland After Dark Star Wars Night. If you have an Inspire key, you will be able to purchase tickets starting tomorrow, no earlier than 9 a.m. Pacific time. I would recommend, I'm sure, Cordy would say the same thing, and Danny probably doesn't know because he doesn't buy these things typically. But, you do buy Oogie Boogie. You probably should check in about an hour to a half hour before the tickets go on sale so you can get into the queue. It'll help you get tickets a little bit faster.
Make sure you're logged in.
Yes, make sure you're logged in with your account, all that stuff. The tickets are going on sale to the Inspire keys starting tomorrow. And then on the 29th, they'll be available to the other Magic Key holders. And then on the 30th, it'll go open to the public. Now, they are going to have the event on 8 different nights. So 8 crazy nights. April 8th, April 10th, April 22nd, 24th, and 29th. And then, of course, they're going to have it on May 1st, May 4th, and May 6th. Now, do note that it is more expensive if you go on May 4th. I think it's $189, where the other nights are $169. So if you're interested in going and you have a Magic Key, especially in my Inspire Magic Key, make sure that you go in tomorrow morning to get your tickets. All the other Magic Keys will be available on the 29th, and then it'll be open to the public on the 30th. These usually go pretty quick, and I will tell you the popular dates like May 1st and 4th, they'll sell out really, really quick. So if you want to go, and by the way, May the 4th is on a Sunday this year. So the one thing I was kind of surprised is how they kind of spaced them out. It's on the 8th and 10th, and then it doesn't have for another 2 weeks on the 22nd and 24th. And if I recall, didn't they have more than 8 nights
I was
last
gonna
year
say,
for
I
Star
feel
Wars?
like that's not as many as we had last
Yeah,
year.
I'm pretty sure they had more than 8 last year. I think.
Yeah, I thought they had a lot more too. So I'm kind of surprised that they had less, this year. But then again, even though they did sell out, maybe it took a little bit longer to sell all those tickets. And I think a lot of people, kind of got, burnt out. I did, yeah, because I went 4 times last year. But I think I'm only going to go once this year. I don't know. I know I'll probably get one night. Cordy, are you going to get another night?
I guess there were 8. I'm sure I'm gonna do one. It's even hard for me to do the one night this year because nothing's changing, but I'll probably do it.
And casual?
That's a no from me, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had fun last year at Star
Mhm.
Wars night, but it was not the kind of thing that enticed me to purchase a ticket again.
I hear you. Yeah. Well, and I was telling Theme Park Casual and Cordy before this started, I went several times last year and I still didn't get my picture with my Jawas that I wanted to get a picture of. And I didn't, even though I got most everything completed, there was a couple food items I still didn't get to try. So it just, you are forced to do so much in such a short time period. And that's the other thing that disappoints me is that they let you in at 6, but the event doesn't start till 9. It goes till 1 a.m., but it's only 4 hours. You can get on the rides really easily, but I'm not there for the rides. I'm there to see all the other stuff. So it makes it very, very difficult to try to get everything done. And that's my biggest complaint about the After Dark events. They don't give you enough time.
Yeah. And Going Shogi says, more pumped for Universal's One Piece night. That has me just.
Yes.
And see, this is
Right?
where Disney is going to start possibly losing some market share once Universal starts this, because there are people that are very, very excited about these different nights. I mean, there's people that are just like through the moon, over the moon right now, just because of the Back to the Future. They're going to do Star Trek, One Piece. I'm sure I think they're doing Harry Potter. So they're going to give Disney a run for their money right now, especially, here in Southern California where, Disney, that's their bread and butter with the after hours thing, is getting all the Magic Key holders to spend a little bit extra because, well, you gotta attempt to get a picture with Jawas, right?
Yeah, right. And here's what Go and Show You was talking about, the Universal Fan Fest nights. And I think it's going to be pretty cool. Obviously, you're going to be able to celebrate all the things that, Theme Park Casual was just telling you about. You got the Star Trek, Back to the Future, Dungeons and Dragons, One Piece. You got the
that's right, D&D. I forgot about that.
Yeah. You got the Harry Potter and Super Nintendo World. So you've got all these different nights, and I think they're going to be pretty cool. It's funny, I was never really into One Piece until I saw the Netflix show, which I really love, the live action version.
Oh my gosh.
But,
my husband's watched that like least 10 times over and over and over and over and over.
And my daughter and I watched them twice all the way through. It was really good, really well done. So I'm glad they're doing another season. But the thing is, these are some fun things that, they're going to be, doing for the public. And not the public, but, for these nights. I think it's kind of cool that they're trying to do that. Can they have a Jaws night, please? That would be awesome.
Hey, they might. If this does well, which I think it will. I totally forgot because I think I was talking to Brian City about this. I was like, about not doing Star Wars and saving that money to go more than one night to FanFest. Like, it sounds so cool. Like
that.
Really
look at that. I mean, right, that alone right there, you're saying, yeah, I think I'll skip Star Wars night.
Yeah, I've done it now. I mean, and people who have done it for years and years and years. Like, I've only done it 3-4 times, and I'm like,
Well, yeah,
Right.
I mean, there were lots of streamers that skipped Oogie Boogie last year.
yes.
Yeah.
I don't even think Mondo from Five Fires went last year because he was just like, there's nothing new.
Nothing new. Yeah, that's, I still enjoy that. Not as much as someone else is on this channel tonight who loves the one area.
I'm sorry.
So much. We don't talk about that. I'm just kidding. Villains Grove is amazing. It is.
I say it every year. I've got my Villains Grove ticket. I might check out Oogie Boogie Bash while I'm there.
Yeah, exactly. How many times did you go last year? 3 times?
4 times through it. And I was I closed. I was the last one in. I was last one out. So
No, don't get me wrong. Every time we go through it, my wife and my daughter and I enjoy it. What does GeoFire say? He says, we'd love to go hang out with everyone, but next best thing is watching it streamed. Yeah, that's true. Well, because you don't have to pay for it and you get to see everything. And that's the thing, though. When we go to these events, I don't go on the rides half the time, and I might ride 1 or 2 rides, but to me, it's going for the actual characters, the events. What are they doing differently that we can't see, at the park normally, and that's what's really really cool. And unfortunately, like you said, if I had my choice right now to go to Universal Fan Fest nights or go to Star Wars After Dark. I am a diehard Star Wars fan, but Star Wars has not been doing so great lately, especially under Disney. And I would love to go see something at Universal because I haven't done that, and I think it'd be a lot of fun, especially experiencing Star Trek or Back to the Future. I mean, that would be kind of cool. So I think they've got a great idea. I'm interested to see how they implement it, how well it goes, and if it's really worth our time to experience those things. But I think Disney's going to have to start doing something a little bit different, because one of the things that disappoints me the most is the fact that last year at Star Wars Night, they canceled the fireworks. That's a big thing, to cancel the fireworks. Why did they cancel the fireworks? And I think it was a big disappointment to a lot of people. And because they did some things that didn't make a whole lot of sense, like, the DJ that plays, top 40 hits and it was playing, Hispanic music and stuff that had nothing to do with Star Wars.
Yeah, Disney really needs to understand that the after-hours events, the photo ops are cool, unique characters, the food, whatever. They have to lean into what they do best, and what they do best are the spectaculars.
Right.
The fireworks shows, Fantasmic, World of Color. Those are the kind of things that bring people back. And unfortunately, with Star Wars, they started doing Fire of the Rising Moons. So that kind of, it's like, okay, well, how do you do Star Wars fireworks when you're doing those ones? Right. At that point, then people are going to be like, well, we get those every night if we just go to Galaxy's Edge. So that's why, in my opinion, they should have had something going on where Fantasmic plays. Right. They should have come up with some sort of a show. And you know what? I know they can't, they would never do this again, but Hyperspace Hoopla from Star Wars Weekends in Hollywood Studios would have been something that would have gotten the fans nuts. It would have drawn a crowd. It would have made everybody feel like, oh my God, I should have got tickets for Star Wars night.
Right. And one of the other things was, go ahead.
But they don't listen to me.
You got to write in. You got to send the message.
Right.
I will say, though, that one of the things that disappointed me last year was the fact that, we went to go see Rey, and she was, I forget what it was called, but she was uniting everyone together and getting everyone to raise their lightsabers. Oh, yeah. That was really cool. What was not cool is where we end up standing. And this is a hint to anyone who's planning on going. If you're planning on going and seeing these events, don't stand where there's a walkway. So we stood where there was a walkway because we thought, oh, this is great. There's no one in front of us. We can actually raise our gimbals and see everything. The problem was we had cast members going, you can't stand here. You need to move down this way. There's no standing. Go that way. You cannot be in this walkway. You need to move. It's like, time out. I know you're trying to get people to walk and move, but can you guys try to do it another way? And it just wasn't very well done. Yeah. And it was kind of annoying because even if I wasn't streaming, I would be upset as
it's distracting.
Yeah,
it's very loud when it's that loud. I know what you're. Yeah.
Yeah, that happens sometimes when I do fireworks, because I do it right at the rope at one of the crossings, and there's times where it's like they're right in my ear and they're this is a war above, and I'm just like,
I'm doing a stream here.
You wish people could just know how to walk, but I know they're doing their job. They're doing it for a reason, but sometimes it gets very loud.
I thought Cash was going to talk about how you stand back at the rope and people lift the rope and you're like, whoa, what's going on?
There's that.
Nothing to see here.
Right? Naked Gun. Nothing to see here. Go home. Too funny here. That's awesome. What happened to the X-Wing fighter drone that they had for the opening of Star Wars Land? That would be great for Star Wars. That would be great just for the land itself. How about that?
That is the one thing I did like about Star Wars Night is Galaxy's Edge finally felt alive, because there were so many people in costume playing off of each other, the cosplay, the role play and everything like that. Everybody was having fun. People were with the lightsabers and talking to the characters, and that was it. Galaxy's Edge finally felt the way it was supposed to, I think.
Well, and you had C-3PO and you had Mandalorian,
Yes.
and I mean, you had so many characters. So,
So Geofire, and I think this is like a big one because this is, why we do this too, is to be able to share all of this with people who aren't at the parks or can't go to these events.
mhm.
So that's definitely something that's in my mind when I think about like, do I or do I not, right? Like it's,
Mhm.
you want to
Well,
share.
and I think that's why, like, Sweetheart events, I have not been able to go to that, last 2 years. I've tried to get tickets, couldn't get tickets, finally got them. And I was kind of like, why am I doing this? I'm like, because I've never been to it, and anyone who can't go gets to see it as well.
Mhm.
So I kind
Mhm.
and that's why I do my live streams on Berry Place 28. I've got friends
Yeah.
and family who go, I don't like standing in line. I don't like going to theme parks. I don't like, going through all that hassle. You do it for me. And while I'm not actually on the ride, I feel like I am because, you're going to the park for me. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Thanks. So it is kind of cool that we get to bring that to you. And we obviously, that's one of the reasons why we do it for the live stream, not the firework parkers.
Yes, Sammy, very welcome in, by the way.
Hey, Sammy Bear. And we
Hey,
also
Sammy.
had Mini Stitchy was here earlier.
Cool.
Heather Jung is in the
Gosh,
chat. We have Doom Boogie, Dash of Disney, and of course Sammy Bear.
Oh, that's awesome.
Last year I will say I went, it was the opening night one, yeah, for Star Wars night. And I think I just got lucky, but I got to see everything. So I didn't go see Luke, who was going to say Luke and Laura from General Hospital, but it's not. Luke and Leia, because I saw them a lot like the year before, because you can just keep
Mhm.
walking through. But I did have a really good experience when I went the first night. Then I went again, and that was more like fun with friends because a group of us went. But so that's where I'm like, I don't know what to do because I really did have a good experience, and like I said, got to see everything.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard. It's not easy. You really have to like work.
Yeah, you have to
for
work
sure.
it. In some things, you have to get lucky. That the line happened to
Timing.
be had to be low or whatever. Because there were times where we passed by where Darth Maul and Darth Vader were. Sometimes the line was long, other times it was short. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we got to do pretty much everything. There was very little. I don't think there was much that we missed other than the Jawas.
Yeah, I think Jaw was the only thing I couldn't do.
Yeah, Kara, and that's why one of the things why we hope that all the other streamers will like most of us we try to follow the rules as much as possible and try not to be an issue to where Disney would start clamping down and not letting us in the parks to live stream like that, because it's one thing to do a vlog and post a video, but when you're live, it's so different because you've got the interaction with people in the chat and things are happening. And like Mermaid was saying, when I went to Oogie Boogie, there were so many things that went wrong, and it's just you're rolling with it, and it turns out to have those moments that you can't capture on just a video. It has to be in the moment with everybody hanging out with you. So and we appreciate having you guys in the chat, even if it's just hey, hi, I can't hang out, or go in ninja mode or whatever, just just to say hi. We love seeing your names pass through.
So speaking of events, can we go back to the Lunar New Year, because we covered that last week? And by the way, if you guys didn't get a chance to see our live stream, we were actually in the park, and Cordy and Theme Park Casual and I really enjoy being in the park, and we hope that you guys enjoy being with us. It's been a lot of fun, and we had a great turnout with everyone watching. But we took the time to go over a lot of the Lunar New Year food. We tried some things that were really good. We tried some things that were just okay. We gave our 5 Flags review. So if you haven't seen it, definitely go back and check it out. But one of the things that I didn't get to try, and I really, really wanted to try, was this thing. So let me show it to you. So this is from Food at Disneyland, but this is the sweet taro bread, and it's at one of the outdoor vending carts that you can catch. It's actually over by Incredicoaster. And so I got this yesterday, and it's funny because it's a little deceiving when you see it. And by the way, there's I think some cream cheese here too that's not really being shown. That's kind of inside. That's like you see a dark purple on top, and you see that little light purple on the side, and there's some in between the actual buns. They take Hawaiian rolls, 4 of them, and they basically split them, in half, and then they pour like cream cheese and the taro.
I think it's
the sweet
condensed
taro.
milk. Or it
Is
should
it
be
condensed milk? Oh, condensed milk. That's what it is.
Mhm.
Thank you. Condensed milk.
Yeah, it's cream cheese icing.
Cream cheese icing with condensed milk. Yeah, there we go. I like it. It's almost like a tres leches. Just kidding. Anyhow, so here's the thing. I took it all the way over to Flo's V8 Cafe just so I could sit down because it was raining at the time. And it stayed warm the whole entire time that I walked over there, which was really nice. Yeah. And then when I started cutting into this thing, it was fresh, it was soft, and it had a really good flavor. It was not too overly sweet. For having that condensed milk and obviously the taro frosting, it had the right amount of sweetness to it. And it was so good. I was like, oh, I could go for another one of these. So I would definitely recommend it. I think you guys should definitely go check it out. I would give it 5 flags for sure for the park streamers because it was just an amazing, dessert and treat to have. So you've had it though, Cordy, right?
I have. No, I haven't.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, okay.
I was really.
I've had the one Slim's talking about. I haven't tried this one.
Yeah.
What's the one that
You
Slim
guys.
He's only been bringing it up in our chat.
He was like, we had it too, and I was like, it's pretty good. And he's like, what do you mean it's pretty good? It's the best thing ever. You tried it, and you
amazing cream cheese honey bread.
Yeah,
I like GVs. Looks like it tastes purple.
Yes. Devin's gonna try it.
Well, taro is very deceiving because you can have a taro item and it might be kind of tart, and then you can have a taro item and it might be really sweet. It just depends on how they make it. This was perfectly made. I gotta tell you, I was impressed. It was much, much better than I thought it'd be, and I wasn't sure what to expect. I thought it was just going to be, okay, we're gonna have some, sweet Hawaiian bread, and either it's gonna be really good or just eh. Heather Jung says Slim sounds about as salty as the bread is. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's funny.
Is the almond churro the one that they have now? Is that the one?
No, they had the almond cookie churro where the coffee churro is. So
Yeah.
We're guessing they replaced it, which I've heard very good things about the almond cookie bread pudding. So It looks like they transitioned to that. But
interesting. So let's talk about it again for those who didn't see it last week. What were your favorite items to try with the Lunar New Year last week?
The pho dip. I'm still debating if that's what I'm going to use my last one on, or I'm going to try something new. But yeah, that sandwich was really good. I loved it. Oh,
speaking of the sip and savor, you cannot use the sip and savor for the sweet taro bread. Just want to let you guys know you have to buy it. It's like $9.45 or something like that. So just fair warning on that, because some things you can use your entitlements for, as they call them. I think calling tabs.
If the taro bread is anything like the cream cheese one, it's definitely shareable.
Oh yeah.
So it looks small because it's one little container, but it's definitely enough for 2 to 3 people.
Yeah, I could have shared it with someone, but I don't want to.
Oh yeah, I plowed through my entire one myself, but.
And Cordy, what was your favorite thing last week?
I still say the mini char siu pork shanks.
Yeah, those were really good.
Yeah, those were really good.
I was impressed. I really was impressed. So that was really good. I don't know why. Maybe it was the flavor, because I love the flavor so much. And typically I don't just choose wings, but the fire chicken wings really just they were great to me. I loved them. So that was probably my favorite. Even though it was just chicken wings, it was the flavor. Oh, Casual's like, mm-mm. No, spice.
I actually like the flavor, but I think if I would have had the entire wing, I probably would have been like, no, this is too much heat. But I'm a wimp when it comes to the spicy food, so everybody take that for what it is.
I still have to go back for my candied fruit.
Oh, I was going to ask if you've got.
Oh, that's right. I didn't even think about going there yesterday. Ooh, I should. Well, I didn't have a whole lot of time in DCA, but yeah, I think. Oh, maybe that's what I'll have to do this Wednesday. So.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, but that was. I think it's worth if you didn't get to catch it. I think. Can I tell you? I have to tell you guys this. And when my daughter says this, you're like, what? Really? She was like, it was really a good show. And I'm like, it was? It was all like kudos, which is, rare. But yeah, she said that it was entertaining and, that it was funny. She even laughed because we were watching it went over there Friday night too. She had it on like in the background. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. So
well, and by the way, I want to say thank you to everyone for reaching out and letting us know how the audio was. I know it was a hit or miss. Most time it was great, but there was a couple times it was, maybe a hit, not a hit, it was a miss. So thank you for letting us know when there was scratching or something happening. We're going to work out those kinks. Obviously, it did sound pretty good though when it was,
yeah, there were just some peaks where it couldn't handle it.
Someone was laughing really loud and making some loud noises.
Yeah, Brian was talking. Those wings were good.
Yeah, Brian says the wings were good and maybe a little too hot. They're very meaty wings. You weren't sucking on. The only thing was the one I had had a little bit of fat and gristle on it, so it was big and meaty, but it had a
But that was you were saying the drum. That was the drumstick.
It was a drumstick, yeah.
Right. So.
Oh,
yeah. So you may encounter those with the drumsticks, but I will tell you, it was. I loved it. Bring on the heat. Lynn says, "You all have great chemistry." Oh, thank you, Lynn.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you.
Very, very cool. All right. We are doing really well on time tonight. Is there any other topics you guys want to talk about or cover?
I do want to bring up the Madame Leota's somewhere beyond.
Right. Oh, yes. Let me see if I can bring that up real quick. What was that channel from that posted it? Oh, I remember.
I think it was Matt Desmond.
Right? Or Matt. I knew that.
Yeah, I think it was Matt Desmond.
Dustin. Hold on 1 second. Let me look it up here. Matt.
So I mean, we've been critical on Madame Leota's, here and there. There's lots that people have been criticizing. A lot of it valid, in my opinion. But last night we noticed something, and when you've got lots of the Disney influencers that are kind of part of the media feed that Disney uses, they're catching some special announcements and things. When they're calling Disney out for stuff like this, that lets you know just how rough the situation is. So Madame Leota's last night had to close because rain was flowing into the store. Now we don't know if it's it's probably not inches worth of rain, but the fact that there's water coming into the store is an issue. And if you guys recall, there were people showing pictures where the actual siding on the building did not actually come all the way down and meet the concrete. So that I don't know what you can call, what can you attribute it to? Is it poor design? Is it shoddy work? One way or another, that should not be happening because it was not torrential rain yesterday. It was consistent, so there was a decent amount, but there's no way that this should have water going into the store.
Because it was a shed from the Home Depot. Just
be
kidding.
that as it may, even with a shed, I'm pretty
I
sure
know.
people that, I've got a shed in my backyard that does not have water pouring into it when it rains. So this is, this shop has become a lightning rod for criticism. And when stuff like this is happening, there's not really much you can do to defend it at this point.
Mhm.
Needs to come from Lowe's. Oh boy.
What's that?
I said the next one needs to come from Lowe's.
Nice day, Walker.
Oh, geez.
But
oh, go ahead.
It's disheartening because, like I said, there's been criticism, from people that are not big critics of Disney.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you guys saw Bricky's, Hey Bricky's video, it was a well thought out, massive takedown of what they did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was pointing out flaw after flaw after flaw after flaw. And that's just from a design perspective, from an operational perspective. This is coming down to the actual craftsmanship and work that was done to get it built. This does not have anything to do with necessarily, Imagineering's creative designs and things like that. This is, literally just, bad workmanship. And I just don't know what to do at this point, because it's like, you want to give them benefit of the doubt. There are things that we do like about the shop. It would have been a fantastic addition had it been done right, but it just seems like there's just way too many things that have gone wrong with this one little shop that should not have gone wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. And just so you guys know, Matt Desmond, he is a huge Disney fan. I mean, he's been raving about, Tiana's and he really loves everything that Disney does. But even he has, kind of stepped out and said, hey, here's the problems, issues we're seeing with Tiana. Here's the problems, issues now with this, Madame Leota's Somewhere Beyond. I was shocked because, like they have got rain gutters on the sides of the, a roof, which is nice. But the fact that no one thought about, okay, we may have rain and it may go this way and it may go into the store. We need to build some gutters here or something to prevent that water from going in, just kind of blows me away. I know we're in California. We haven't had rain for a long time, but like you said, it wasn't a very strong rain at all. It was consistent, but it wasn't like a really hard rain. I can only imagine what it would have been like if, it was a really hard rain. So it's disappointing to see things like this happening. Especially because this has literally been open for 2 months. No, 1 month, going on 2. And it's literally has had one issue after another, from the AI artwork to the artwork that you can buy from, Amazon to, people just ripping it right and left, for different things. And now you've got this, yeah, we can't open the shop during the rain because it's got flooded by light rain, not even hard rain. So
yeah, and I don't want to say flooded, because it's probably that there was, a little bit of water going, maybe 3 or 4 feet into the store. I don't know what it looked like, so I don't want to sit there and make it seem like as if people were going through there with waders, because because I don't want to blow it out of proportion. But
right.
This is one of those things where it's like Disney looked at it and said, we have to close because there's the potential that it's not safe. That's how I'm viewing it, that there's water, there's enough water in here that somebody could slip.
Right. And the reporting, said that it was flooding, and flooding doesn't mean, like you said, you have to be, in knee high, water. It could be just an inch or so, or maybe less. And, it could cause, like you said, safety hazard and issue. And you definitely don't want that. Plus, not to mention, it could definitely destroy, merchandise and product in the store.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which you don't want to see happen.
Yeah, I mean, they just built this, and now all the baseboards and everything could be, okay, now we got to rip those out and replace them.
Yeah, because, exactly.
Water damage.
That's horrible. I mean, no matter where that happens, at home or where, you don't want to see that. And that's what's so disappointing, is that it's like, it's brand new. It's had so many issues, and it took forever to open. They finally opened it up, and now I believe it or not, I think they're probably going to have to close it again to make whatever modifications they can to make sure this flooding doesn't happen again, which is disappointing because, you know, it took them so long to open this thing. But, you know, it is what it is, and we'll just see what they do.
Yeah. Like I said, it's just crazy how many things have gone wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Alan, I like that, like safety wise, right? If there's any chance of.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I said it's probably more of a safety thing than, you know, oh my God, you know, we've got so much water in here. It's, you know, Disney is hypersensitive to those kind of things. In fact, we were talking about it, you know, with the amount of the attractions that were closed at one point last night.
Yes.
You know, it's like, you know, are they closed because malfunctions, or are they closed due to safety? You know, out of abundance of caution, kind of thing. You know, it's not just guests that they have to be concerned about. That, you know, the cast members are constantly having to be moving around and dealing with things, and if one of them slips and falls, there's, you know, that's an issue as well.
The black mold may follow you home. Oh, I like this one. The Living Seas, West Coast edition. You guys are great. I love these.
So, but, you know, but talking with Cordy, she was there live last night, you know, experiencing some of the closures happening, but things came back online. Tiana's was open all the way to midnight, I believe. Haunted Mansion came back online. So it wasn't that, you know, they just decided to shut down and, you know, try to get everybody out of the park and close early. They were just, you know, like I said, it could have been, you know, an abundance of caution and, you know, taking care of guests and the cast members at the same time.
Yeah. You were kind of chasing things last night. Like, oh wait, that went down. Okay, go back this way. I ended up just doing a circle. I'm like, okay, because you guys were saying like, oh, Rise is, you know, 20 minutes. Then I get there, it was closed already because it's after 10.
It was like right at 10 o'clock, and I'd seen 20 minutes, and then literally next time I looked at it, it was like the little star.
I'm like, we're just gonna do a circle around the park, you know, and see what we can get on.
I had, you know, ended my stream and I was home with the family, and I was watching your stream just for a little bit, obviously, and you know, congratulating your 7,000, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, that shut down. I'm not even looking at the app going, why is that one shut down? Okay, that's interesting. And here's what's interesting though. I was there at Rope Drop and throughout the day, and obviously, you know, some things don't open right away. I feel like lately things are not, like, they still keep things closed that should be open right at Rope Drop. You know, it's like, why is this still closed? Okay, fine, whatever. But I did notice that, you know, they were shutting down rides as needed. Obviously, like Luigi's Rollicking Roasters, you know, they're going to shut that down because it's outside. Those things I totally understand. You know, they're doing their best with the Radiator Springs Racers. I got on it, and after I got off, they had more inclement weather, and they said, hey, we may have to shut down and may not. We'll you know, keep you posted. But the thing I think that disappoints me lately is it seems like they have been trying to shut things down a little bit sooner than usual. And not just at Disneyland, but look at Knott's Berry Farm. Yesterday, they made an announcement they were closing early at 6 p.m. due to the inclement weather instead of staying open. I don't know about you guys, but I don't ever remember before COVID theme parks closing unless there was a really big severe storm. They didn't close early because of inclement weather, and it wasn't pouring. It was, you know, it was definitely some rain, and it was consistent, like you said, casual, but it wasn't pouring. So for me, I was like, here we go. It's a cost-cutting thing. And I know a lot of people tend to leave the parks and, you know, and whatnot, and maybe they are trying to save money, but to me, it's really disappointing when you have a theme park that goes, oh, you know what, we're having a little bit of weather, so we're going to shut down for the day. I hope you guys understand. It's like, what are you doing? You never did this before. What's going on?
So, I Brian Sevilla hits it on the head right there. It's about the attendance, and, you know, at this point, the tourism isn't what it used to be. So they're really going to be watching and figuring out ways to make sure that they can maximize, you know, their expenditures, and, you know, or minimize expenditures, maximize, you know, profits and things like that. So I get it, you know, yeah, it's not, I don't think it's very good, you know, especially for people that are visiting. And that's why Disneyland, I think, puts the effort to, you know, push to stay open, even if they have to shut some of the attractions down, like, teacups, bobsled. Sometimes those they have to shut down in the rain.
Sure.
But, there's plenty of stuff to do. And, honestly, Disneyland in the rain, it's actually amazing to just walk around.
But they will do that. A number of times, and even because we would always go on Fridays, my daughter and I, and we, I would say at least 3 times. We were like, oh, they're closing at 11. They're, without any notice. If you don't, no. So
yeah,
that is a bummer, right? I thought they were going to do it last night. I really did think we were going to get an early close last night.
Yeah.
Spaceship Ear says, but they make so much money on poncho sales. And Terry's got a point. Obviously, Knott's has roller coasters, and if you have, and I totally understand Knott's because they have a lot more outdoor rides, especially the roller coasters. But on the other hand, it's like they do have other things, and it's disappointing that they're closing so early, especially when it's not like major, it's not like a tropical storm or hurricanes coming in. It's like, oh, we got some inclement weather, so we're gonna, for the safety of everyone, we're just gonna shut down early. Really? What if I want to go get my free food? Just kidding.
Exactly. Yeah.
My meal plan. As a single day ticket holder, I'd be furious not getting what I paid for, and a limited time to use it. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Yeah, that's the most disappointing thing, and I feel bad because we go all the time because we're streaming at the parks and we live, fairly close. But if the people who are only there for the one day, or they are trying to experience something they can't.
But see, like Brian says, right? We'll go in the rain because we're like, well.
Well, somebody was asking, is Disneyland still, wonderful in the rain because it keeps people away? And I said, well, yes and no, because people, when you're visiting or you have your ticket and your reservation, and, especially Magic Keys, we have to go if we had a reservation.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really clear out the way it used to.
Right. Exactly. I will say though, and I did get some comments, and I thought it was kind of cool too. I was waiting to go into the tiki room yesterday, and there, when it was raining, you could hear the pitter patter on top of my umbrella, which is kind of cool, and I thought it's kind of neat. And I was kind of bummed because I had, made the arrangements so I go to, rope drop and then come home early, spend, the evening with the family. And I told myself last time it rained last year, which has been several months, I should go in the rain and just, do like an ASMR, of Main Street or something like that with just the pitter patter of the rain. It'd be so cool to do that. And I was like, darn it, it's raining and I can't do that tonight. So I'll have to do that one of these days. But I think it's really cool. It's to me, I like being in there. Now, granted, there's some rides you can't go on, and I will tell you, there's definitely some things you definitely don't want to get on, in the rain. Then again, you might as well just go on Tiana's.
Yeah.
Although
Sammy Bear.
Yeah.
Sammy Bear did.
Sleeper Tiana.
Oh, Sleeper Tiana.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy too, is I don't know if you guys saw it, but I was doing my live stream yesterday, and I sat in the very, very back, which is great, except for the first time ever, my backpack got entirely drenched. I picked it up and I literally had water just dripping out of it. I'm like, oh, what am I going to do? And I didn't get, my shoes didn't get soaked, which is great. And my pants got definitely wet, and my bottom, and obviously my shirt and jacket. But man, my backpack, I've never had my backpack soaked like that ever, even on Splash Mountain back in the day. So it was just one of those, water found exactly where I was at. Oh, it's Berry Place 28. Splash them. Yeah. Tammy says, yep, saw the live event. No, nothing was permanently damaged, but yeah, it took a while. When I came home last night, my bag was still wet, and I still had stuff inside that was soaked. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that'll
Lynn
get you. That one will get you if it hits just right.
Yeah, I agree with Lynn on this one. Some awesome photo opportunities when it's raining, which is really, really cool. So all right. We're getting ready to wrap it up here. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we get to Q&A?
I don't think so.
No.
Cool. Well, if you guys have any questions for us, go ahead and throw it into the Q&A here. While you guys are creating those questions, I just want to remind all of you let me bring this up again real quick. definitely go to our parkstreamers, .com website. It's great. There's a couple of articles we haven't covered here, like the new book on Knott's Berry Tales. Just came out. It's a great book by some really good authors. Sorry, and I think you guys will really enjoy reading up on that. Don't forget to check out the Disney volunteers regarding the support of the families who are affected by the wildfires, and if there's any of the topics tonight that we discussed, like the sweet shop, the enhancements coming to the hotels, or the new executives that are coming into the Disney parks, definitely go check those out. They're great. And don't forget, you can always come to the stop for previous episodes. You can get more information on Theme Park Casual, Cordy in California, or myself, which is great. And it's a really wonderful site. So I hope you guys will take the time to go to theparkstreamers.com and check out the stories and the videos that we have.
We have a question.
And if you Oh, yeah. What's
Sorry.
We'll go for it.
What's your favorite color?
What? Does not everyone know my favorite color yet? Spaceship ears. It's green. Green is my favorite color.
By the colors of our like on our park streamer.
Yeah, I know.
Hangout shirt. Yep.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. And I don't know if you noticed, but when you go, sorry, I got to bring up that site again real quick. It's kind of cool, because we do have it based on our colors. So if you look here, I'm green, Cordy's got the pink, and Casual's got the blue. So yeah, I like that. That was really good choice. So those are our favorite colors.
Not a question, but Paul knew it just to say that I love the folks in the chat here.
Oh, that's
we
awesome.
do too.
We enjoy having all of you, so thank you. So Go and Shogi's asking, what do they do with the old Haunted Mansion store? So they still have it. It has not changed. It still has Haunted Mansion stuff inside. They basically, it looks like they moved over whatever they thought they should or could, and then they added some new stuff into the new, Madame Leo's Summer Beyond, but they still have some Haunted Mansion, Nightmare Before Christmas stuff over there. They have things like Haunted Mansion dresses and the shirts and the sweatshirts. They have the diffusers, the gargoyle diffusers, oil diffusers. What else do they have over there? I think they have some of the lamps as well still. And then, of course, all the Nightmare Before Christmas. And then the funny thing is they still have some non-Haunted Mansion and Nightmare Before Christmas related items like Mickey, plushies and shirts and things like that. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do. I'm wondering, and I don't know if you guys my source hasn't gotten back to me on this, but do you think they're going to try to sell through that stuff and then eventually turn it into something else? Or do you think they're still going to keep two different stores? I mean, look at Tiana's. You got Ray's Berets, you got her mom's store in New Orleans, then you got Lewis's Critter Club. So,
that makes sense. They could do that. I mean, if they have something in the works, it does make sense to change it out if they can get the Madame Leota's too.
Oh, and Daryl, we're talking about the Haunted Mansion store. So when you exit Pirates of the Caribbean, you got, is it Pieces of Eight? Is that what they still call it? I think.
Yeah,
store.
I think so.
And then right across the way next to it is the other store. It's right next to the Veranda Grill, and I forget the name of the store. You guys remember what it's called?
I'm looking it up right now.
Ah, there you go.
Trying to.
Trish, she's all, or toss all the old T-shirts on the floor at Madame Leota's to soak up the flood water.
Are you dressing up for 90s night, Bob?
So here's the funny thing. When it was Star Wars night, obviously I wore my Star Wars shirts and bomber jackets and everything, but I'm not typically the type that dresses up for those events. And so I'm probably not going to dress up for 90s night, but who knows? We'll see.
Do you want to be a Spice Girl?
No.
We might do that. We were talking about
I would rather dress up as is it Powerline? Is that the guy's name from the Goofy movie? There you go.
There's some ideas that you could just like bound, right? Just get the colors.
You're going to have some more friends
on the show.
So soon.
Oh, on the show. So I was going to say this for the end of the show, but we are working on more guests, and we hope to have some more guests on the show soon. So as soon as we have something, we'll definitely let you guys know. But we are definitely working to have some more guests on the show. And the next set of guests I'm working on, I think it's going to be really cool. So Sim's like, who? Are you gonna?
And by the way, the store is still called Pieces of Eight, and the other one with Haunted Mansion stuff is Port Royal Curios and Curiosities.
That's right, Port Royal. Yes, thank you. Cassandra says, looking forward to it. And Gerald Chen says, a surprise guest. It might be more than one guest on a future show,
yeah.
So that'd be cool.
Yeah, that's what,
like I said, we're working on it, and we enjoy having guests, and if we can bring them to our show, we definitely will. And if you guys have any suggestions of people you like us to bring on the show, we will try, depending on who it is. Love to do that. Yeah, Brian Sevilla says Bob and TPC can go as Hanson. No.
Yeah, probably not.
Any other questions, comments, sarcastic remarks?
You really open up the floodgates there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Forget that last part.
There's
see.
skits if you guys can hear.
The timer.
Yeah, exactly.
What's that?
I think we're look at that, right at 10 o'clock. What do you know?
Exactly.
Yes. Wow. Okay. Yeah. What is it? Here we go. Spaceship Beer says Theme Park Casual and Bob would make a good Statler and Waldorf. Waldorf. I can't even say
Waldorf.
that right. Waldorf. Hello. Yeah, I love them from the Muppets. Oh, yeah. That's what we didn't talk about. We didn't talk about the Muppets.
That's right, the Muppets.
Holy schmoes, how did we not do that?
We'll have to go through this real quick, but
yeah,
Muppets in Disney World is being evicted. And we know the date. Is it what, June? Is it early June? I can't remember the exact date.
Yeah, hold on for a second. Let me bring it up real quick.
But yeah, so this is it for Muppets in Disney World. It looks like, which is, well, at least for the current iteration, which is kind of crazy because that is the last project that Jim Henson worked on.
It was, and just a little tidbit here too. Spaceship Ears, his dad actually worked on MuppetVision 3D. So yeah, I know that Spaceship Ears and his dad are sad to see that going away. And for those of you wondering what they're doing, well, and I'm sorry, I was trying to bring it up here. They're going to be replacing it with the new Monsters Inc. Land, and the new roller coaster getting putting in, as well as some new restaurants. So the last day to experience it is June 7th.
That was close.
Yeah. So the attraction will close permanently on June 8th to make way for the new Monsters Inc. theme land coming to Disney's Hollywood Studios. And then if you go to the blog, in fact, let me bring it up here real quick so you guys can see it. If you just type in Disney blog, it'll bring you to all the Disney parks. And you can actually focus on one specific park you want to go to. But here it talks about it. And here's the new roller coaster they're going to be doing. And I'm looking forward to that. I think that coaster is going to be cool. I'm really hoping it's going to be as fast as it looks and not like some little slow ride. I don't want it to be like Peter Pan. This is a fast ride. It should be a fast ride. But basically, they're going to be building this new land. So everything where the Muppets Vision 3D is, they're going to turn that whole city and town into, Monstropolis. I just hope they do it well and right. Obviously, they'll have Harryhausen's. That should be cool. I'm just really hoping that it's done correctly. But I am sad to see it leave. And, if you want to see it, you got to go see it before June 7th or by June 7th.
Yeah, so hopefully the Monsters Inc. area will be fantastic, but we're losing a piece of history with MuppetVision leaving. So
we are.
It is one of those bittersweet type of type of moments. It's like, yes, we know the parks have to change. We get it. But at the same time, it's like there's certain things that you feel like, this feels a little too important to remove and redo. But
Welcome in Game Life. Yeah, I know. Little Muppets land. I love the Muppets.
Now, just to be fair about this whole thing, Muppets are going to stay over at Hollywood Studios, where they're going to move over to the Rock and Roll Coaster. So instead of having Aerosmith, obviously it's going to be Dr. Keith and his band playing with the Muppets, and you're going to hear a lot of songs. So it'll still be cool. I think it'll still be fun. But obviously, MuppetVision 3D. I was sad when they took it out of our park at DCA. Look, I like Mickey's PhilharMagic. It is cool. It's not bad, but I do miss MuppetVision 3D, and kind of wish to be honest with you, I kind of wish they bring it back like they do for Soarin' over California.
Yeah,
I definitely went and watched that way more than I do PhilharMagic.
Yeah, PhilharMagic. I think I've sat through it maybe twice. Once because of March Madness,
which is coming up soon.
Yeah,
it is
almost here. Almost here.
Yes. So just real quick before we take off here, so Spaceship here is saying my father was the production designer, and so I spent a whole summer as a kid sitting on the set watching A Forever Memory. That is really cool. And by the way, I am working to see if I can get Spaceship Here's dad on our show as a guest. So that is one of the things that hopefully we will have in the near future. But in the meantime, thank you for sharing all these memories with us, Spaceship Here's. I appreciate it. Yeah. With that, I think it's about time to wrap this up, because obviously some of us have to get to bed soon. So before we take off, please check out our parkstreamers.com website. Thank you so much to all of our new subscribers. Hopefully we'll have members soon. We are so close to 500. If you are new to the show and you haven't hit the subscription button, please do so. And please hit the like button for us tonight, everyone. We really appreciate your support. And with that, Cordy, can you tell us where we can find you and when you're going to be streaming next?
Yes, you can find me on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Discord, Twitch, and Blue Sky. Possibly tomorrow.
All right, possibly tomorrow. Very good. Tomorrow. Awesome. And Theme Park Casual, where can we find you, and when will you be streaming next?
You can find me on YouTube, X, and Instagram, all of them at Theme Park Casual. I have a reservation for Wednesday, so I should be at Disneyland Wednesday evening.
Awesome. Okay. And let's see. You can find me at BarryPlace28 on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, X, and Facebook. I will be at Disneyland also on Wednesday. It's kind of a busy week for me. For those of you who watch T3PO, I'll be on that on Thursday and Thursday night. Living Dead Fam has invited me on their show to be a guest and talk about ghost stories. So if you love ghost stories, come hang out with me. I actually had one last night that happened. It's kind of crazy, and so I can't wait to share it with you guys. But come join us. It's going to be a lot of fun to talk about, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun. All right. Cool. Well, kind
of unnerving that you had a ghost story last night and you were hanging out with the family.
Well, here's the crazy thing.
Well, don't share the story now. Make everybody come.
No, I'm not.
Oh.
Maria saw it happen, and Ariel was in her bedroom, so she didn't see it happen. But it was definitely crazy. So if you guys want to hear some good ghost stories, I'll be talking about some really good ones on Thursday night with Living Dead Fam, and hopefully you'll check it out. All right, with that, thank you so much for joining us. Hope you guys had a great night. We had a great podcast with all of you, and we're looking forward to seeing you on the next Park Streamers Hangout. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
See you, kids.
We hope you enjoyed our amazing show tonight. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on the next Park Streamers Hangout. Have a good night, everyone.